Hello, everyone. Welcome to High Vibes and a Mic. We are your hosts, Silvia and Veronique Anenter, moms in our 40s and 50s with lots of great spiritual insights and funny stories to light up your day. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
One, two, three, four.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I'm here with Veronique. I'm Silvia, by the way. And I'm here with Veronique. How are you, Veronique?
I'm good. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Mhm,
This episode, we're going to talk about being an immigrant, like when you, the ones who can relate, um,
mhm.
that feeling of not knowing where you belong, kind of like being between two worlds, as so to speak. So we're
Yeah.
gonna discuss a little bit about how we deal with it and if it's really like if we feel that way sometimes. So,
Mhm.
Vero, why don't you start? What do you think? Like, do you have that feeling as well
Oh,
sometimes?
I will say less and less, thank God, because I've
Mm-hmm.
been here for 20 years now. So it's
Yeah.
becoming more and more my home. But I had that feeling for a long time when I was young because I'm originally from the French Caribbean.
That's what
So
I
I'm
was gonna
black.
say. Yeah, because
Yeah,
you have that with friends,
very
right?
complicated. Yeah,
Yeah.
very complicated. So
Uh-huh.
I'm black. I was born and grew up in France. But luckily for me, I was born in the Paris, in Paris neighborhood. So it's very multi-pot. There's people from everywhere, so that's cool. But still, when you see me, I'm not like, I'm not French from, the 18th century. I come from
Mm-hmm.
another country, right? So growing up in France, maybe like elementary school, kids are very mean. So they can call you name and say, oh no, you're not from here, blah, blah, blah. So you have that
Mm-hmm.
feeling like, oh, I actually don't belong here, because I
Mm-hmm.
always thought I belong here, but somebody's going to tell you when you're 6, 7, actually, no, you're not from here. So, okay, so that's out there. So then you go back to
Mm-hmm.
your country on vacation where you're supposed to be from. So we always go
Yeah.
back to Guadeloupe with my mom, my grandmother, the whole family. We go to Guadeloupe. Well, I don't belong there either
Mm-hmm.
because, they don't accept me over there because I don't have the accent. I come with
Yeah.
my big
Yeah.
French accent. I don't speak Creole. I
Ah.
barely understand. I understand because my mom talks Creole to me all the time, but I don't reply in Creole. I reply in
Mm-hmm.
French. So I think over there I got it worse than in France actually.
Oh yeah.
Because they're- yeah,
Ah.
because for them you're like a traitor. So that was
Oh,
back
I
not
see. I see.
anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, that was back in the days when people didn't really travel a lot between France and the Caribbean.
Uh-huh.
Now we
Mm-hmm.
all mix. It's okay. I don't have that feeling anymore. But I was like in the 80s. Oh baby. All the Caribbean people who live in France, they were like traitors because when we come back, they think that we think we're better than
That you're
them.
better. Yeah, I know. Just because you lived abroad and you think you're better than
Exactly.
like yeah. Uh-huh.
Exactly. Yeah. And when you're in
Mm-hmm.
France, of course, you're going to make more money. There's more opportunity for job
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. So actually, when we come back, we actually had like the duty to come back with like not gift, but like clothes and stuff for our cousin, and stuff that you couldn't find on the island. We bring stuff for
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
and actually, they can. When we were in the street with my cousin from there and my other cousin from France, you could spot right away who is from France and who is living there just by the clothing,
Mm.
because we always wear the latest, stuff from France, and they could see the
Yeah.
people living there. They're like, oh, those kids, they're not from here. Those
Yeah. Yeah.
sneakers, they're expensive, or those clothes, and sometimes it wasn't even expensive, but over there, it looks very expensive. So when I was over there, I got it bad when I was over there. I can tell you that. So yeah,
Mm,
that's
yeah.
it. So what
Yeah,
about you?
that's
Because I'm more, but what about you?
I was gonna ask you. Like that's why I was so curious because I was thinking like about that with me living here in Brazil, but I'm like, wait, wait a minute. Veronique is like She has it
Mhm.
since she was born because of this whole being thing of being from like France, but not like like the DNA, the French DNA, like that from like
Mhm.
from like when you do, and how it is to be like, how do you deal with all that? And then you go back home, like go to the Guadalupe, and people are like,
They
so
don't want
like
you.
both places is like one place you're rich, like a super rich, like snob. The other one, like you don't belong, you're not part of the French,
Yeah.
like so where do you go? Like that's very interesting. I always wonder about that too in my mind, like how,
Mm.
because well in Brazil, like we are since Brazilian, and all my parents and grandparents were all Brazilians. We didn't have
Mhm.
to go through that. I mean, I didn't feel that, like only it's like fifth, fourth generation. I don't know, like way before me. I mean, way before my grandparents. So I didn't have that feeling of not belonging there. But then I moved here.
Even, I'm sorry, even in the Amazon,
Even in the
did you
well, that is
belong?
like
Did you belong in the
local,
Amazon?
yeah, like travelers, like within the country. That's a good point, huh? Like moving around
Uh-huh.
to different states and how
The
it's
big
like all
city to
different
the Amazon.
cultures.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is that too. Like I remember that when I moved to the southern part of Brazil, there's a lot of
Hmm.
Europeans there, German descent, Polish descent, and I was black for them. I was like me, my brother, who was much darker than me. Anyway, it's funny thing that the girls are like we would have fights, and they're like, "Oh, you're black," like they're like so
Oh,
like they're insulting you, like you're
wow.
black, you're this, you're that. I'm like, huh, whatever. Like
Well,
it was so weird.
this is
But
Brazil, you
they
bitch.
yeah, but they had this thing there because it was all everybody had like blue eyes and white, and it was me, my
Mm.
brother, and my dad, like totally like whoa. So there was a culture shock there. It was hard even to like make friends. I had a few friends because
Yeah.
kids, it's kind of easy to play with. Well, my parents, like my mom, didn't make any friends there when we
Oh.
moved to this place. It was hard. Like we were in Rio every 6 months, but for my mom, I think it felt like it was forever. Like she was away from her family and her friends and
Mm.
all these people that are not very friendly. I don't know if they're nicer now, but
Yeah.
back then they were not very. So, like, yeah, you see the difference within the country, like just going to different regions, how they act like differently, and they judge you by like because you're the stereotype of you being from this place and acting like this and that. Like, oh, if you're from
Hmm.
Rio, you're gonna act like this. If you're from somewhere in the Northeast, you're gonna act a certain way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
start kind of like having that type of talk. So then we move to the US, and here is like that thing I was telling you before we recorded. Like, okay, I have been here for almost like you 20 years. I'm close to 20, and I already feel like super involved. Politics, economy, whatever it is, like to talk about those things. But at the same time, I'm
Hmm.
not. I wasn't born here, so I don't think I can go all the way. It's like something stops me just because I wasn't born here. Because
Okay.
I didn't grow up here, so it's different.
Yeah.
Like to even talk about certain things. If I wasn't born here, I didn't grow up with the culture and all that. And then I see things happening in Brazil, and I want to be involved in them. But then I'm like, I don't live there. Can I
Yeah.
express my opinion? Even though they love to say that, by the way. If you say anything like,
You.
oh, yeah, Brazil
Yeah.
sucks because of this and this and that, well, we don't even live here. Who are you to talk about? Like people are going to make comments like that. I had a cousin
Of
who was like,
course.
well, I don't think you live here. And I don't even talk to her
Wow.
anymore. Yeah, during the election time, she was trying like, well,
Yeah.
I didn't think, I don't know why you're interested in elections in Brazil if you don't live in Brazil. Like, shut up, bitch. I do whatever I want. I could vote from here.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like that, that kind of like
I
confusion in your mind.
understand.
I need
Yeah.
therapy.
And what? What did you say?
I need therapy for that.
To feel that you belong here, or to stop with
I'm
the politics in
joking.
Brazil?
You know how people love to be the victim? Oh God, I'm such victimized person. Now I don't know where I belong.
I need
But yeah, there
therapy.
is that. Yeah, I need therapy for that.
Well, for me, for a long time, I was following everything was gonna, what's happening in France, the politique, the news, everything, everything. And one day, Pascal was like, why are you so involved? You don't even live over there. It's like, can
Yes,
you check what's
something.
going on where you are right now in this country? Can you check what's going on here? And I wasn't interested at all. I knew everything what was going on in France, and I wasn't, interested at all. And so
Uh-huh.
I was voting, I was going to vote every time. And I think, I don't know if the last election or the election before, I was really like, okay, I know that person, I know that person can do well for France, and I'm sure, this person can change a little bit what's going on over there. And the vote is always going to the same person. And we
Uh-huh.
already knew who was going to vote, who's going to win. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck, I don't even live there anymore. I've been here for 18, 19. Why am I bothering? That's
Mm,
what they want. They live over there. They want that person to be president.
yeah,
Okay,
so.
so, well, deal with it. Why am I even going to vote over there? So I decided I'm not going to vote anymore because I really don't care. Unless there's like a big, I don't know, like there's Mussolini or Hitler is coming to the power and they want to be elected.
they
Okay, I'm going to
will
go.
they will not try to go through election though. Hitler,
Yeah,
can I
Hitler.
yeah, like can we do the election process please for me to take
But
power?
yeah, no. So I decided not to vote anymore. I think the next one is in 2 years. I'm not going to go. I didn't even go. I
Mhm.
think the last time I didn't go. Pascal still go, even though he's not even following, but he still does his duty.
Uh-huh.
And but something here. I've been here for 20 years, but I'm not really into politics, a lot here. So I follow a little bit, but like you said, I wasn't born here. I don't really have the whole culture from
Mm-hmm.
here. So sometimes I'm like, okay, yeah, I might vote, but should I really, go very deep? I'm
Discuss
not
too
sure yet.
much, yeah.
Maybe,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Should I really, because I think I still have a little bit of my French culture in my mind, from where I was born, and here it's really different. So maybe find something in the middle. I don't know, but there's a lot of things that I do here that I wasn't doing in France, like like charity or
Oh yes,
being
uh-huh.
involved.
It's
You know
big
what I
here.
mean? It's big,
Mm-hmm.
huh? Charity
Yeah,
and stuff like that here. And well, I wasn't doing that at all in France. None of my family does that. For them, charity is just going to church on Sundays,
yeah.
give money to the church, and that's it, right? Not
Mm-hmm.
involved in any organization or anything like that. And here
Helping
it's
out,
huge.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
most of all my friends here, they belong to a charity. They belong to an organization. I even went to a dinner, a brunch last week about it's called 100 Women. It's a really nice organization for a charity organization, and I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to join. I think I'm going to join. So yeah, so stuff like that. I'm getting into the American vibe.
Yeah, uh-huh.
I like
Like
it.
this, the
Yeah,
big like donation things that. Well, I
spirit.
mean, no wonder like
Yeah.
they don't really they get those countries kind of get stuck in a way too because they don't let
Hmm.
the money circulate. Like they're not donated, they're not giving back to the community. There's not.
Yeah.
I don't see the sense of like in Brazil. I don't see that of like the community of everybody working together
Hmm.
and for a cause and like helping out their neighbor. They're gonna help people if they need, just
Yeah.
out of nature. It's just because people are gonna do that because they're nice, and they're gonna help people who are in need. Like my mom, every time she comes to visit us here, she brings a separate bag with clothes, like kids' clothes, to give to the lady, her cleaning lady who lives in the slums around near her
Mm.
house. So she gives her a full bag full of clothes. She's like, I wish I could bring more because there's so many kids there,
Oh,
and I could give away. But it's tough to carry all that on the plane because she wanted to bring it
yeah.
with her and then pay extra
No.
baggage. Yeah, like
Old,
to and
old
she
lady.
gives it. Yeah, like all those, anything like kids. Cause and she, what the lady, she loves every time she sees that. Oh my God, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So like that's the way people help there, just informal way of just helping out. But here is very
Mm.
organized, and I like it. I like the way it is because then people
Yeah.
will help, when it's something more organized and it's more efficient too. So I like that the side of the culture.
And then also, I forgot to tell you about in the middle, the UK, because I live in England for 4 years.
Oh yeah, you lived in
So that
adding
was
another
another
layer.
experience. Oh, yeah. But you know what? Actually, the UK, that was the best because over there, you are invisible. You do
Mm,
whatever you want. Nobody's checking on you. They don't care. English. They don't care what you do. They don't care what you wear. I don't think they care
Mm-hmm.
what you vote, who you're voting for. I never heard in 4 years with my colleagues, my friend, whatever. Oh, there's election. Oh, who do you think you're going to vote for? Or who blah 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 blah. They don't talk about it's everything is private. Your religion,
Mm.
your politics, everything is private. We don't talk about that because nobody's interested anyway. So the
Should be
UK,
like
4 years
that,
over
huh?
there, huh?
Should be like that, right? Always
Yeah,
like
it should
just
be
keep
like
it to
that.
yourself. Yeah.
So I think if I would have stayed there, I'm sure it's still like that, because I talked to my brother. We never have conversation about stuff like that, and I like when I was like that. It was like 4 years of freedom, total freedom,
Mm.
especially coming from France, where everything
Mm-hmm.
is kind of rigid and in the box, and you have to be like this, you have to follow the trend, you have to be like that.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh.
So yeah, they have a lot of rules in France. So going to England, it was a nice transition to come here after, because here,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of mixed,
Yeah,
but
yeah, and similar
you
in a
know,
way, right? To
yeah,
England.
I think it's the mentality is a bit the same. But yeah, living
Yeah.
over there, it was like, oh, I remember a quick funny story. I don't think I ever told you that story about the
Okay, here you
woman.
go. Yeah, tell me.
It's just funny. She was so confused, that poor woman. So, African American woman here. I
Mm-hmm.
moved here like maybe I was here maybe for like 3, 4 years. She saw me in the street and she's like, "Oh, can you sign, a petition or something?" And I'm like, so I look at her, I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not from here, so I cannot sign, because you have to be American to sign the petition."
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Oh," so she noticed the accent. She's like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, so right away I always say I'm French, right? I'm like, "Oh, I'm French." It's a French accent. She's like, "You're French." So already confused.
Oh yeah,
You're
yeah, yeah,
French.
yeah.
Because
Yeah,
for
no,
them,
but
French
seriously,
means,
like you're from, but
yeah,
where exactly you come from before French?
exactly from France, okay? So I'm like, "Oh yeah, I was born in France, but I'm from the French Caribbean." Another confusion. French Caribbean. Never heard of that before, right?
Mm. Oh yeah,
For them, the
yeah.
Caribbean is English or Spanish, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm like, she's like, "French Caribbean?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, it's the Caribbean, but it's a French island. But I'm trying to explain, it belongs to France. But I grew up in France." She's like, and she looked at me, she's like, "But you're still black, right?"
Mm. Oh my God, that's great. Yeah.
"But you're still
Like you went
black,
through
right?"
all these places. You're coming from all these different, but you still.
And then I was like, "Well, last time I checked in the mirror, yes, I'm still black." That's all she wanted to know. Are you black though?
Yeah. Do you consider yourself black?
What do you consider yourself? All of that. What do you identify?
Yeah. What do you identify as? As black? As a redhead? As a
As a French? As a
as a
Caribbean?
red?
As a what? Oh, I was
Oh,
laughing so hard. I'm like, okay, so you see how confusing it could be when you're born in the
yeah,
country, we speak
yeah.
with an accent.
Yeah, I remember, like, well, when they see like Asians who are Brazilians, because there are a lot of like Japanese descent in Brazil. So they see
Hmm.
Asian here, and then they're like, "Wow, you speak English? Like you speak Portuguese? How can you speak Portuguese?"
Yeah,
Because they don't associate like that type, like Asians, with being Brazilians, or being even like when they have like blue eyes, super blonde, like they look like, "Oh, you're
yeah,
Brazilian." There is
yeah.
that too. It's
You
funny,
have a
like it
friend
can
who's
be.
Asian and she's from Brazil, right? I was confused too. First time I met her.
Who?
You have a
Me?
French. Yeah, she speaks
Who's
Portuguese.
which one?
You have a
Oh
French.
yes,
Oh my
she's
God.
Chinese descent. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, who? Yeah, Julie. That's right.
Was she born in Brazil or?
She was born there. Yeah, her parents were.
Yeah.
So it's in this state that there are a lot of immigrants from China, from
Mm.
Japan, and from Germany and Poland. It's like all like they all move there because it's good for like agricultural land.
Oh, is it in the north, close to Suriname?
No, it's south. It's like
Oh,
in the
it's south.
southern part, like closer to
Okay.
Argentina, I would say, like more, yeah, that way.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So it was another part.
yeah, yeah.
I think
That's
it was
why.
part of is that because France has a little
Oh yeah, the French
country there.
Guiana, French and the
Yeah,
Suriname.
Guyana. Yes, and they're close. So there's a lot of Asian people there also. So I thought it was like in this area also.
Ah, yeah, that's the other country that apparently Venezuela is trying to take over. By the way, did you see that on the news? They're
Really?
trying to take over the Suriname, or the other, like French Guiana, one of the Guianas there. Is it Guianas?
Not
Guianas? I never know how to pronounce it.
in French is Guyane. We say Guyane.
Guyana.
Guyane. But in English, I
Okay,
guess
we
it's
call
Guyana.
Guyana in Portuguese. I don't even know how
Well,
it is in English.
if they're trying to take something, it's not the French one because I'm telling you, they cannot take the French. It's a French territory. So it will
Yeah,
be like it will be like
right.
invading France. No way.
Yeah, so there's some action going on there. Like, anyway, I don't know. I
Oh,
just saw something like vaguely
was
under that
trying.
is like those countries there. But yeah,
Craziness.
I was gonna say something else. I forgot. Do you have anything that you're gonna say? Because I had something.
Um,
It's gonna come back to me. What was that?
yeah, no, I was
I
just
don't
thinking,
remember.
that yeah, I'm feeling. I think that's funny. I'm feeling really American when I go back to France.
Oh yeah, huh? You probably
I'm feeling
do.
very French when I'm here, but I feel very American when I'm go over there because I'm like, I don't think like that anymore. Can we move on from
I
this?
know. Yeah, like, oh, you guys are still stuck in this? So 2008. Hello. People don't do that
Once we
anymore.
went the train, Pascal, we took the train to go to Paris, and there was a fight in the train
Oh,
because somebody pushed someone to go out or something like that. And they were fighting, and they were dating the train. And Pascal and I, we look at each other, we're like, those people are so stressed. From California, we don't
just
stress like
fight
that.
for any reason, right? Like it just, yeah,
Oh, in the subway in Paris, there's always a freaking fight. There's always something going on in there. It's like another life in there.
oh my God.
It's like a city in there. It's crazy. You should see. You go in the subway. You can buy sandwiches. On the tram over there, they sell
Mm-hmm.
stuff. You can even shop in there. They have stores inside. You can shop in there. They have stores. They have everything in there. You can buy
Yeah,
everything. People playing music. There's concert.
music,
There's
yeah.
everything in there. It's like another life.
Yeah, like they sell, like in Brazil, they sell stuff too, especially train, not the subway, but the train stations. Oh my God. These
Hmm.
people, like, almost like they come out of the slums too with some candies and they start selling it. Like, sometimes things for the kitchen. The garlic thing that to smash the garlic. Oh, I want garlic thing for like a
Oh
dollar,
my
one
God.
real. I'm like, and then the people buy it. Like, oh yeah, I want one, please. I need one
They do?
for my kitchen. Yeah, the old ladies there, they all buy. And they drink and they
Mm.
sell the worst of all. Of course, you're
Nice.
never gonna see that here. Alcohol. They sell alcohol when there's a traffic jam on the roads of
What?
Brazil,
Oh my
as they
God.
used to in back in like 90s, 2000s.
Yeah.
Any traffic jam, you're on the bus, public transportation. The guy's outside with a cooler. Who wants a beer? Beer,
I love this.
one
I
dollar,
love this.
Brahma. And then you're like, here, you get the beer through the window, through a person who's sitting next to you. Open the beer and drink it. Can you believe this? And
Yes, I
you're
do.
driving, and then you can also like buy a can of beer, because you're just gonna. It's too boring in the traffic jam.
While you're driving, you get your
While you're
beer.
driving, you can get a beer. And the water bottles, God knows where that water is coming from, by the way, because
Oh
I
my
don't trust
God.
how they did. Everything can be fake. Like they can get the
Yes.
bottles. Like, oh God.
And
But
up in the
yeah,
toilet.
yeah, right. From those nasty rivers, they're polluted rivers that they just like put the water in there. That's what they say in Brazil.
But
But yeah,
yeah,
alcohol.
something I have to restrain myself when I go back to France. Oh my God. Like talking to random people. Because we do
Mm.
that here. Like you see somebody like, sometimes I'm in line at Safeway, whatever, and I'm like, oh, I love your shoes. You know what I mean? American, they
Oh
like to do
yeah, they
that,
do that. Yeah, yeah.
compliment you even if they don't know you, like, oh, I like your
Oh
hair.
yeah, they
Somebody
do that.
said
Yeah.
that to me, okay. And now
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, thank you. I think it's normal. And once I wanted to do that in France, there was this woman, I don't know where we were in a museum or somewhere, and she had very nice shoes. And I wanted to tell her, I was like, wow, I love your shoes. And I'm like, no, 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 you cannot do that here. You're in Paris.
Oh, so you didn't do it? Okay.
No, I have to stop myself. You're gonna think I'm a lunatic.
Like, stay away from me, you freak.
Crazy. Why are you giving me a compliment? I don't know you, bitch.
I know. I noticed that here too. Even though in Brazil we talk to everybody, we do talk a lot with
Hmm.
people we don't know. But we don't
Yeah.
compliment others like that. There's no way, like, oh, you look so this. And I remember when I moved here, every time, like, oh, you look so good. Oh, what did you do? I'm like,
Yeah.
what? What's that all about? Like these people. And because in Brazil, nobody does that. Nobody does that. But we do talk to people randomly. Like they tell your whole life story on
Yeah.
us on the bus. It's crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
Well,
But the compliment, no.
in the Caribbean, they do the compliment. They will do the compliment. They will tell you, "Oh, darling, you look beautiful." They will talk to random people, and they do everything over there. That's cool. In Guadeloupe, I could do that. I could say to someone, "Wow, I love your shoes. I love your stuff." But in France, no, I have to. Okay, check my audience. Okay, check the room. Check the room before I do anything. Okay, feel
So
the feel the tension on it.
yeah, let's
Don't
not
do
be
anything
weird.
crazy. Yeah. Mm-mm. Don't want to be somebody calling the police on me
Yeah,
over there.
stalker,
Uh,
twin flame
what?
stalker.
Did I get this explained? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah. So just to say that I've been here for a long time. I think I'm gonna stay here for another long time. I don't know where I'm gonna end up, but I'm still gonna be here for at least the next 20 years. I'm sure. So I'm gonna feel more and more American. I'm American now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got the nationality, so just feel the
Yeah.
where you live, right?
Yeah. I think over time, yeah, you just become more and more and more. And that's it. Like I know a
Hmm.
family who they're French as well. Real French. Like the real
Right.
French. The original ones.
Yeah.
And like they've been living here, I don't know, I think they're in their 80s. And I'm sure they
Hmm.
had that, like in the beginning, but they raised their children here. They were born and here. They moved to France
Hmm.
for a little bit, then moved back to the US. And at this point, right, when you're 80 years old, I mean, you don't have
Oh yeah.
anything. Like all your relatives are gone anyway, like in
Yeah.
the old country. So
Mm,
I think they just consider themselves Americans. They always did. They always did
yeah.
anyway. I think we're gonna be like that too, more and more. It's just like when you think about old things, like from your youth, and you're talking to Americans, you can relate to the things
Hmm.
they're, the type of music that they
Yeah.
like. Like Patrick noticed that too.
Yeah.
Like, what's up with everybody here? Like they love those hip hop, those raps from the 90s. Like, I don't know any of those. Like they know by heart, and I'm like I can't
Yeah.
participate because I don't know those raps. Like it wasn't my thing. Like in the 90s,
No.
I didn't grow up with that. So like that, like I can't be in the same page. Like it's just
Mm.
weird for me, for Patrick. But other
Oh,
things you're gonna be,
for the
experiencing the
music.
same.
Well, yeah, for the music, even if I know some of the songs, I don't know the lyrics
Hmm.
because I didn't speak English at that time.
Yeah, yeah, and they know the lyrics, like everything.
The,
It's like, oh
yeah,
my god, I don't barely know the main
I
words
didn't
there.
grow up speaking English, so I'm like, okay, I don't know, I can say some word, but that's it.
Yeah, I
I
don't
can just
even
say the
know.
whole song.
I don't even know
Or
how I
if
sang those songs, like pretending to
or
know
some
English.
sometimes TV shows, stuff like that. Really, I mean, I don't know. One of my
Oh
friends was
yeah.
like, "Yeah, that show when you were a kid." She's like, "We're born the same year. You should know that show." I'm like, "Dude, that show didn't come to France, so I don't know
Yes.
about that show. You didn't export everything in Europe.
You was never,
I
yeah,
didn't
and it
grow up
took
there."
longer. It was harder too,
Yes,
right? To
exactly. You should
get
see
to
the
the
soap
country.
opera. It's like 10 years behind. The Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh
Some people
God.
are dead here. They're still alive over there.
Wow.
Yes, well, if you want to see a rerun, go to France.
It's all, yeah, live, like back 10, 20 years ago, from 20
Oh
years
my
ago.
gosh. Yeah. So yeah, there's a delay. So
Yeah, there is a delay for sure.
all right then. So should we wrap it up? Or do you want to
Yeah.
add something else about your belonging here in this country? How
I
dare
think it
you? How
was
dare you being here?
I think it was good to talk about it. I'm feeling much better now. I don't think I need to seek therapy.
You don't
And
need
I
therapy?
hope other listeners can relate and go through
Yeah.
this challenge. They can make it to the other side. It's okay. Hang in there.
And I'm sure we have a lot of immigrants listening to us. So let us know in the comment, please. Let us know,
Yeah.
leave a review for us. It's very important for us if you leave a review of the
Yes.
show. And if you put a Q&A or a poll, if you can answer the poll, that would be nice. And let
Yeah.
us and follow us on social media, please. We're everywhere.
Yeah. We're always posting fun stuff there for you guys to enjoy and see if you relate as
Mhm.
well.
Exactly. Well, thank you, and have a good time. I'll see you soon.
See you soon. Bye. Take care. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to High Vibes and a Mic. Until next time, laugh hard, stay silly, and never forget to bring your sense of humor. Please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest.